Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast brought to you from the secret closet of our local game store, Webway Games in Marlborough, Massachusetts. I am one of your hosts, Cam, and with me, as always, is the birthday boy.
Ooh, womp womp womp.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you.
Everybody tell Steve happy birthday. He's 65 today.
Yep.
We're very proud of him.
Good old boomer age.
So, something that we said last week, or 2 weeks ago, because that's how that goes, is that we were so excited and we'd have Kickstarter product in hand for the next time that we record. And we are, I think, the only Grand Archive podcast on the internet that does not have Kickstarter product.
Yeah, you know, hey, we have our promos though.
Yeah,
we can look at our promos.
Real cards, I guess.
Yeah, we can look at Clumsy as much as we want.
Yeah, we have Clumsies. I picked up some of those dungeon guides a while ago.
Nice.
Which is cool, but yeah. So since we last recorded, Kickstarter has sort of soft launched. They Australia has theirs, so congratulations to all of our friends that we're not jealous of at all that live in Australia.
I haven't, been looking longingly at the Facebook and the Discord of everyone opening packs.
So many packs, and I think Europe has theirs as well. At least like the UK got most of theirs, I think.
Yeah, I
over
think
the past
it
week.
definitely started going out. I think the first thing I need to say is I haven't held one yet, but CURs look
I know
amazing.
It's so crazy. I think like because I mean everybody's like specialty foils, like everybody says that about everything,
Right.
but like
I don't know.
It's like a league of their own, right? Like they look so sick.
From playing so many card games and having chase cards like that, but these look amazing.
I saw somebody post that like I think it's the level 3 Sylvie, maybe it's the level 2 one. It's one of them that got opened, but it's like 3 layers of foils, and you can see it's like etched on the front. I'm making
it's so nice.
motions.
Oh, I'm so jealous. As a person who wants to play Sylvie very badly,
sure,
I want that card
it's
so
tough.
bad.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I think and today from a suggestion from one of our lovely viewers, we're gonna talk a little bit about that and the sort of like collectible side of Grand Archive, because I think a big part of their mantra has been like twofold, right? It's the pillars of the game being obviously like gameplay forward and organized play and sort of, the gathering part of card games or whatever.
Right.
But also collectability, right? Because that's super important, especially like post 2020, right? Where like card games as a collectible thing have like sort of exploded,
It exploded, yet also kind of waned a little bit too. It's a weird climate.
Yeah, we're definitely in a weird spot where like the big three like Magic and Pokemon and some smaller games like MetaZoo and Flesh and Blood sort of like exploded over the pandemic because nobody had anything to do, so they were using all of their disposable income, like buying cards, and like like PSA and Beckett got like shut down. You remember that?
Yeah.
Because they were like overwhelmed with how many
we
things.
can't stop sending us things.
Yeah.
We can't do this.
So like there was that, right? And so now like, you can walk into the grocery store and talk to somebody's grandma about, her PSA 10 Charizard or whatever, which you couldn't do 5 or 6 years ago. But then like after that sort of cooled, there was this big, like everybody trying to catch the wave.
Right.
So there's like dozens of grading companies now. There's so many card games that have come out to try to like catch the collectible wave. So I think you're right that it was a really big deal, and then it sort of dropped off a bit, and then we hit the wave of like a bunch of people trying to like
capitalize on
cash in
like something that they should have done like 2 years prior, right?
Right. Yeah.
But
so we're in a weird spot. I don't know. The collectability in card games has always been sort of a weird thing for me. Where like when I played Magic, I wasn't really a collector. I'm not usually a foil person, and the reason for that is that coming from like a competitive Magic background, foils are always like frightening to me because they curl, and then like if you have like 2 or 3 foils in your deck, they become marked cards, and then that's like a tournament liability issue. So I've like never been big into foreign cards. So when I played Magic, I didn't really like collect so much. I would just like build my decks or whatever. But then like when I started to play stuff like, Weiss, where so much of that game is the collectability, like you're only playing the anime card game for the anime art on the cards, I was way bigger into it and just like, max raritying all my decks and buying all sorts of stupid foils. So
yeah, as someone who's played like a bunch of different card games, my collectability track has been up and down all over the place because, like you're saying, like I do play Magic a lot.
Right.
I do love Magic. However, foils hit or miss.
Sure.
And they do Pringle quite a bit.
Right.
But games like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sure.
I was always trying to
big,
ride
big
that
ghost rare guy.
Yeah. Oh God. Ultimate. Let's be.
I don't know anything.
I was always trying to foil my deck out, make it look real nice. Same thing with Flesh and Blood. I don't play that game. Too smooth brain for it. Force of Will.
Yeah.
Yep. I max rarity everything.
Gorgeous art in that game too.
Yeah, so good.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it's definitely been like a weird collectability stance through my life, where it's just like some games I'm like, oh, I need
sure,
give me the max art or full rare, full art, and then other games it's just like, yeah, no, I just need the cards to play the game.
Right. Yeah, I've always been like, gameplay first, collectability second. Like, there's never been a game where like, because I know there's plenty of people, and hopefully some of them are reached by this episode and get some insight into both sides of the game. But I know some people that just like don't really care about playing the game at all. They just like want to, collect things, get things graded. all those people, which Godspeed.
The people that keep the game afloat so the rest of us can
play.
Well,
it's true, right? So there's such an important part, and I think hopefully Grand Archive's doing a great job. We won't really see until the game's like fully out in the wild, but like there's such a, with TCGs there's such a hard like line to straddle, right? Because you want your game to be approachable, so you don't want your like game pieces to be prohibitively expensive, because you want people to be able to play your game. Like Flesh and Blood, which we mentioned a second ago, is having like a pretty real problem right now, where one of the cards from the first set that is like distinctly very playable has been out of print for a long time, and it was like the highest rarity available. So it's like a $500 card that you play in your deck, and that is the cheapest version is $500.
Yeah,
which is it's just unapproachable for a lot of people, right? Like you can't be like, hey, you should play our game. Most of your deck is $2 cards, except for this $500 card you need to buy, right?
Right.
So I think Grand Archive's doing a good job, hopefully, in that regard, where like the highest rarity, like base non-foil rarity, is one in every box, right? So like at worst, theoretically, right? There's 5 URs in Dawn of Ashes. So to get any specific one, theoretically, it's 1 in 5 boxes, right?
Right.
Which is really not that bad. Where like this Flesh and Blood thing that I'm using as an example was 1 in 40 boxes, right? So it's a lot harder to get a hold of.
Rate.
Yeah, for sure. But on the other hand, when your game is super approachable, and these, high rarity cards are 1 in every 5 boxes at worst, it means that usually those cards aren't going to demand a premium on the secondary market, because you'll just open them from like drafting or, like opening product. They'll be pretty like readily available. Like I've seen some people, obviously Kickstarter is a bit of a different issue as far as like prices go. Obviously the prices for Kickstarter stuff is going to be more expensive, because it's a limited print run. These boxes are going for $300 a piece. But I saw one of our friends post selling like a Grand Crusaders ring for like $100, which for a Kickstarter highest rarity thing out of a $300 box is like very affordable.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. I
Personally.
would 100% buy that. Like,
which makes me think that like when Alter comes out, that card is probably only going to be like $30 or $40, right? Because the boxes are going to be much more available.
Which is great, because
because everyone's playing it,
right? And my material deck is where I'm foiling, right?
Sure, yeah. I think that's a different story, right?
Like I plan on like my entire material deck just being highest rarity as much as I can.
Yeah, so that's the nice thing. We obviously we don't have Kickstarter products, so we can't speak in absolutes, but I don't know how like the foil curling is for Grand Archive, and that's I think some other games that shall not be named. It's gotten a little bit darker in here.
Whoops.
I think stuff like Magic, there is some blame there, right? Where like distinctly some of their foils curl way worse than others. But to a certain extent, it can't be helped, right? Like all foils are going to do that. It's just, due to printing a foil layer on a piece of cardboard, humidity and moisture in the air is going to affect that. So, but I don't know how bad the Grand Archive curling is going to be, if that's going to be an issue. I don't really know. Maybe, anybody that lives in exactly Australia or the United Kingdom can tell us.
Right. Anyone that has opened this product out
can tell us how their foils are looking. But yeah, that's the nice thing about Grand Archive is that at least your material deck never has to be shuffled anywhere. Right. So like even if they're all they all look like literal taquitos,
right?
That's fine because they don't have to be shuffled into your deck.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. I think they've already said that you're allowed to have your material deck graded or partially graded if you want to, which is cool.
Yeah.
For the people that want to do that. So yeah, I'm with you. I think a lot of people are going to be trying to foil out their material decks.
Yeah, I don't know. It just there's something about playing a foil card out of a deck where you don't have to shuffle it. Just feels good.
Well, I think the best part for me, I know so many people that collect, and I'm a collector generally, right? Like I've been somebody who's I've never sold a video game in my life. I used to make videos about anime figure collecting. I collect things, you know, so I'm not new to it, but
I mean, I think we both do. I think that's why we're here, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Trading card game players have to be hoarders in some regard. Right. I firmly believe that. But what I was saying is obviously people buy these things to look at them, right? The collectors, they want to get their thing graded, put it on a shelf or in a binder or whatever, and appreciate the art and but in card games, if it's a single card in your 60 card deck, you don't get to see it all the time, and it feels a little bit bad if you spent $3,000 on your CUR or whatever, and you only get to see it once every few games. But the nice thing about Grand Archive is that if you foil your material deck or your hero or whatever, you're seeing that card every game all the time. So you get more out of your investment.
And even if you're not playing it, you just pick up your material deck and look at it, right?
Yeah. You'd be like, hold on, let me check. Did I materialize this turn?
I'm materializing.
Oh yeah.
But nothing. Materialize nothing.
Yeah. I'm good. Go ahead. But I think the hard part about that, and I think another good mark in this game's favor as far as keeping product value is, if all of your game pieces are cheap, which hopefully they will be, you need some reason for people to open the product, right? And they've done a couple of things in that regard that I think are just really positive for, as a retailer. You want the sealed product to have meaning, right? You don't want it to be Baldur's Gate or whatever, where it's just dumpster fire, nobody wants to open it. There needs to be a reason to open it. And in this case, it's not going to be for your game pieces necessarily, right? Because they're going to be pretty affordable. It's for the chase of these higher rarity cards.
Right.
So we have, of course, you have all seen the CURs in the Kickstarter edition, which are just probably the best foil cards I've seen in anything, and that comes from somebody who plays Weiss, where that's their whole thing.
I 100% agree.
They're insane
without actually holding the card.
Right.
I'm still in the opinion that CURs are probably the best foiling in any game ever.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know how they pulled it off. I think it's just a lot of trial and error. I saw them, there's if you look at the sample cards, right? They put out sample copies of Lorraine over the past, year or so.
Right.
And they've put that out in 3 or 4 types of foiling, because they were just like trying stuff out, right, to see what works, what doesn't, what they like. So the care that was put in like really shines through, I think, with especially with those foils.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that the people that are doing this game actually care about the game and want it to succeed.
Right. Yeah, and they come from the same background, right? Like most of the developers, at least the active ones, are like in the Discord, and we see them talk all the time. And a lot of them, it's not like they're not like your the Ivory Tower sort of only talk about our game or whatever. Like a lot of them are like TCG players of other games or whatever. And I know some of them talk about playing Weiss specifically, right? Which I'm sure some of this like the C-Roar thing, there was inspiration there, surely, right? And I think that's important to like it's a stupid cliche or whatever, but like for gamers by gamers sort of thing, right? But before we get too far off topic, the other thing that they've made really appealing, I think, hopefully, to the world about the product is that foils are rare again.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of tired of everything coming foil and then everything coming like 6 other rarities.
Sure. Yeah.
It makes a stale game.
Right.
It makes it, I guess, it makes it approachable.
Sure.
Because all your cards are worth nothing.
Right.
But
which is good.
All your cards are worth nothing though.
Right.
So it's like it's a 50-50.
Right. Yeah, you need that sort of, collectability, right? So that, when people open packs and they open a foil, it's exciting.
Right.
It's not, like, I can't tell you how many, like bulk foils I have laying around in this store because nobody cares.
Right.
But like, I'm hoping with Grand Archive that just like won't be the case. Like I won't have a box of Grand Archive bulk foils.
Right.
Because that's, they're one in every 8 packs or something,
It harkens back to like Force of Will.
Sure.
Force of Will, every card was printed in 3 formats.
Sure.
It was foil, non-foil, and then super special awesome foil. And it just, pulling the super special awesome foil just didn't feel as good because you've opened the cards up like 6 times.
Right.
In other other rarities. It's just like,
yeah.
All right, well, I already have 2 playsets of this foil. Now I have it stamped.
Now it's like slightly different foil or whatever.
Like, all right. But this is just like, oh no, I don't have this one foil. Awesome.
Right.
This
and they're
is great.
gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Even like the normal foil cards, because those we have at least an amount in hand. I have a single foil Grand Archive card. But
congratulations.
Thank you. Well, it was an unfortunate thing that happened, but we got our merch day order in a few weeks ago. That comes with foils or promos and stuff. That it's like a 1 in 8 chance to be foil. And so I got 8 promos, like based on how much money I spent. And I opened 1 foil, but one of the packages got like beat up by the UPS guy. He just really hates anime, and he was just like punching the box, And so I do have a foil Clumsy Apprentice that is slightly damaged, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It does look gorgeous.
It is very nice. And looks good in a sleeve.
That is true. Yeah, maybe I'll like set it out on the table. We can see if it turns into a Pringle. do a little test.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited to hopefully care about foils again. I think the art goes a long way, and they've always been very forward about how much they care about the art. And I know like I don't know if this is a correct metric anymore, but like they when they put out the Kickstarter initially, there was this like pie chart of like, this is what we need the money for or whatever. Obviously they blew past their goal, so like I'm sure that those things change, but when they posted the Kickstarter, like, this is the pie chart of things that we need our money for, and it's like 20% printing the cards, 20% designing the cards, and then it's like 70% or something art, you know, which is sick. Like I'm glad that they support the artists.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they've spent, I think, a lot of their budget to get this gorgeous art, which I think goes a long way, especially with these like newer card games. A lot of them, man, oh dear Lord, right, personal opinion or whatever, but like some of these like newer Kickstarter card games just like look awful.
Yeah.
You know?
They definitely did not invest the right areas.
Right. Yeah. Well, it depends who you're trying to cater to, but definitely, like I'm not trying to collect cards if, they look like Metazoo, right? Like, it's just.
I didn't think that was a real game for a long
I thought
time.
It was a joke. Yeah.
Until I stumbled upon product and I was like, oh, this is a real game.
Right. And no hate towards the Metazoo people. Like, live your life. I'm not trying to, yuck anybody's yum or whatever.
Right.
But not for me.
It's definitely, yeah.
But very obviously, if you guys, know us, this one, Grand Archive, is for us. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping to chase some foils. It's gonna be tough though, especially if you're looking for Kickstarter foils, because there are not very many. Because like we said, there's only it's like a foil in every 8 packs. I think the population, and those are all posted on the Discord. If you guys are in there, but I think like common foils, there's like I don't know, like 200 or something, 300, something like that of each common foil, which like
That's not
if you want to play set or whatever, you need like a 1% of that the population, which is crazy. So we'll see. But the another thing that that I wanted to talk about with you, because we talked a little bit 2 weeks ago about like events and organized play and stuff. But since we're on the topic of collectability, there's one thing that I think we failed to mention, and maybe we didn't. Who knows? We like to repeat ourselves. At your local game store, when organized play is a thing in April, when Ultra comes out, they are sending these like event kits based on how much product the store ordered, and the foil rate in these like event packs or whatever is like really good.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to collect foils, I think that's like probably the way to do it. Which as a LGS owner or whatever, I'm very excited that people are, incentivized to come play, locals at their store. It's like they come in 2 different types, and everybody like the way that they have the kits broken out is that like you get a bunch of packs. Everybody gets a bunch of packs, even if you're like last place in the tournament or whatever. I think you still get like a couple of these packs, and they come in silver and gold. The gold ones are usually to the higher placing, and then the silver ones are supposed to be like participation. But the silver ones are a 25% chance to have a foil. So that's double the chance of a regular booster pack. And then the gold ones are a 50% chance to have a foil, I think, which is quadruple
which is amazing.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's just a 50% chance that you open a foil. I think they're like single card packs or whatever, but
that's fine, right?
Even still, yeah.
That's cool.
So I think that's great.
Yeah. And it also incentivizes the player base to buy cards from your LGS.
Right.
And not online.
Yeah.
Because the more product that we order,
right,
the more
packs we get, and the more packs we get to give out, and the bigger events we get to run.
Right.
Which is all super, super great. I
buy from your LGS is what I'm saying.
If you're in Massachusetts, hit me up.
Webway Games, Marlboro.
But I want to be, because I know this podcast, Lineage Break, it's a show that we're making because we're excited about the game.
Right.
And so for the most part, and I want to reach out to the newer audience, like people that don't know about this game. And I think we'll get there, hopefully. But right now we are mostly speaking to the people that are enfranchised, right? Like
Right. We're speaking to our friends in the Discord and the Facebook group. Hopefully eventually we'll build the community up enough where new people
will be
us.
like, hey, we run a podcast, come check us out. But there's so much great beginner content out there, and shout out to people like Maindeck who are doing great jobs on onboarding people, right?
Right.
Like Gaz from Creative Shock has a bunch of deck building videos out, which are great. For onboarding people. Right?
I haven't looked at every single one of Gaz's videos and built my decks around those decks.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, we definitely don't do that.
I'm not playing Zander or anything.
Yeah. So there's definitely lots of people for onboarding. But where I was going with this is that
lost your train of thought.
I lost my train of thought. I was too busy thinking about people and stuff. Vamp for me. It'll come back.
Okay.
I
so
guarantee
essentially we're just I think where you were going was something along the lines of us dedicating our channel to discussing the collectability and the organized play of the game rather than teaching. Maybe is that where you were going?
I don't know. It's been a long week for me. There's something going on there. But yeah, I think it's great that we found it. Well, I found it in my brain chat. All right, so we are very much speaking towards the dedicated player base of Grand Archive. But I don't want this show to be us being, like shills, for Weebs of the Shore, because like I want to be genuine and I don't want to like a lot of people. I want to give us our, give people our like authentic opinions. That being said, I want it to be very clear that this is our authentic opinion. And we're, we're just like very excited. And I cannot thank, Weebs of the Shore enough for being as LGS forward as they are. Because, as somebody who runs an LGS, there are other games, who, that really just do not care about us, about our business model.
They just care about their bottom line.
Yeah, they're going to sell the big box, and then, 6 weeks after the set comes out, Amazon dumps things at a price lower than we paid for them.
Right.
And so I just, this has been the case with a couple of other card games as well, but I'm just super thankful to Weebs of the Shore for supporting the local game store, which is great. That's where I was going with that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a minute there.
It's fine. I mean, like, I don't know.
My brain doesn't work all the time. It doesn't work most of the time.
Yeah,
actually.
Same, right? Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where we're so excited. There's so many things in our head that we're trying to just like get it out and talk about it, and then it's like, where was that?
Yeah, I don't want to sit here and ramble, but like we distinctly made this show to sit here and ramble, right? Right. So that's that's what we're here for. But yeah, very exciting stuff. I'm hoping, God forbid, I can't say it every week, right? But I'm hoping 2 weeks from now we will have Kickstarter product in hand,
boxes in hand.
We will like open stuff. They're doing a cool like I don't know if you saw, they're doing a cool like giveaway for box openings to like spread the word or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
So we will be making one of those, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe a few. We'll see. Couple of weeks. They said that, because we're in the U.S., Marlborough, Massachusetts, WebwayGames, Games, et cetera, shill. That we are a shill for that. That is true. They said that there was some sort of like miscommunication or something, and so Kickstarter's supposed to be shipping out of the U.S. to backers next week.
Yeah.
Me and Steve are in the awkward, sad place where neither of us actually kickstarted the game because we're stupid and we got on board too late.
Well, I didn't even know about it. You told me too late.
Well, yeah, I told me too late too, which is unfortunate. I was told about it after the Kickstarter ended, which is extremely cursed.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you should check out this game. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Can I kickstart it? And it's like, no.
2 weeks ago, you could have.
Yeah. Get me with the FOMO. So all that means is that we have to wait for people to get their Kickstarter product, and then like I personally bought a bunch of fucking product off of people that like on the internet.
Yeah.
So I have to wait for them to ship it to me. There is a couple of game stores in our area
that are getting Kickstarters.
That are getting
and we've been hounding their Facebook pages, waiting for them to post about it.
Support your LGS as we say. We're gonna do our best. Hopefully they sell product. And I was talking to Steve about this before we turned the lights on. Well, lights off before we turn the camera on.
Yeah.
And like I get it. Like these boxes are going for a lot of money. And I can appreciate the people that were there in the beginning and Kickstarter the game should get rewarded for taking a chance on something that they didn't know was going to be a big deal.
Correct.
So, like, kudos to you. But, for God's sakes, man. If you're a game store, like at the game store tier or whatever, it was like $66 a box.
Right.
And, like, these boxes are going for, like, $300 on the internet.
Or more. I've seen more. But LGS is probably...
Like, come on, man.
Shouldn't
give
be
me
selling.
Give me a break. Give me, like, a $200 box. I'll pay $200.
Yeah, I'll pay $200 every day. But like please.
$500, like we're gonna go into a store and then be like, we have one box, it is $10,000, and be like, all right, well, I'll see you later.
Yeah, I hope that sits on your shelf for a while because I'm not buying.
Of course, it's got the CUR in it, so
Right,
like,
right.
because they weighed it, they put it
Right.
put it on the
You
on the Pokemon scale.
But the moment I walk into an LGS and I see a Kickstarter box for $200.
Yeah, like
I'm walking out with that box,
cleaning you out, bro. Especially like there's like promos too. I think
Right.
The like foil Crux Knight Lorraine is only LGS promos that kickstarted it. I think.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
I know you do.
I don't know, man. So we're putting our name down, and I guess the podcast is forever canceled if we don't have Kickstarter product in 2 weeks. But,
it's gonna be rough.
That's the plan.
I really want to bring you guys along the journey and show you, a box opening, which we'll probably do a separate video, but we'll definitely, our next episode, if we have product, we'll definitely be showcasing cards off.
Yeah, for sure. That is our plan. And I'm sure that you will see some other folks, if you're in the sphere of the game, showing off their stuff.
Right. The official Discord has been just popping off with polls
all
and
over
stuff.
the place.
And I'm just gonna say it again. That Sylvie was beautiful.
I know, man.
I'm so jealous.
Shout out to Gio. Man's got like 6 CURs now. Did you see that? He opened 2 in like 2 boxes or something. I don't know. I know he ordered a bunch of product,
but still, I'm
Godspeed.
Very jealous.
That could be you. That will be you, Steve.
Hopefully,
you gotta manifest.
I've been manifesting by not getting good pulls in every card game I've ever played.
Yeah.
So I think I'm 20 years in the making for a good,
you deserve
good pull.
It. Yeah. All right, so I believe that is all that we have for you guys today. Hopefully we'll have some exciting stuff to show you guys in a couple of weeks. As always, thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for the show, comments, concerns, questions that you want us to talk about, make sure to let us know in the comments down below. You can find us both on Discord. We leave our Discord handles in the description box below. You can also find us on Twitter at Lineage Break. And of course, shill. If you are in the Massachusetts area, come to Webway Games, Marlborough, Massachusetts. That's where we're going to be running all of our Grand Archive local stuff. We haven't hammered down a day yet. A couple of people have asked me about that, but
yeah, we've been bouncing around some ideas, but I think we're going to get there soon. We definitely would love to see people come out and play in some events
for sure.
Eventually, we're planning on doing some learn to play days, which we're also working on nailing down some dates.
Still don't have those demo decks.
Yeah, still waiting on demo decks.
This week, I think, maybe.
Yeah,
hopefully.
All
right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks, 100% definitively with Kickstarter product.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.